your cup. Good morning from the chef. Super fast.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning. We got a KJ who got here just in time for the show. Whoop, whoop.
Well, sometimes you just barely almost get there when you're coming back from a church,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday morning. Hope you guys are feeling good, feeling alive. I'm feeling tired. Instead of wake up at 6 a.m, do some grocery shopping, then be back in time to unload all the groceries and have the show set up. But I went lazy today. We did a chat and chill day.
Go.
Yeah, so we could just chat and chill, talk about whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Well, it's Sunday. I think it's excusable.
Yep.
So, how are you doing today, Hillbilly?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. Channel's growing phenomenally, and it's awesome.
Yeah, you're almost to that shave your head marker.
Yep. 978 right now. Keep on growing.
Growing for showing.
Yep.
We got KJ. How's KJ doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I just got back from going down to the local church to go pick up a food box.
Yeah, food box.
Unfortunately, winter's been a pretty hard month, so I had to go pick up a donation until I, for the time being.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome that you got the help and support.
Yep.
Because winter can be brutal. It can be brutal. That's why there's people that run out and warn you that winter is coming. Winter is coming. Nah, no, fell flat.
The winter is coming. Yes. What's that? Dragon's Lair or something. One of those dragon TV series. Game of Thrones.
I know that quote from Friends, and I've actually never really watched the show Game of Thrones because of certain scenes that are in the show. Just stayed away from it.
Yep. But anyway, about that, how are you doing today, Tortoise?
I'm doing pretty good, just chilling. Just wanted to hang out, wanted to talk and have a good time. I didn't want to cancel the show, even though I could have fell asleep and napped and canceled the show. But we're off tomorrow.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't. I've rushed to get here today.
Right? And I'm like, it'd be fun just to chat and chill and hang out because, lately we've been having some good discussions on Marvel. You know, and KJ been dropping the mic with all his Marvel facts.
Yeah. I'm gonna like the Marvel, I'm a big time Marvel fan and everything. Excited to see Spider-Man, but disappointed, and also because they ain't got no pre-cons. I mean, I like to just get some pre-cons of Spider-Man just to collect.
Oh yeah, the pre-con commander decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, maybe they just couldn't do it. Maybe there's something with the copyrights or something. I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't do it, or maybe they were limited on the amount of cards they could have in the set. I don't know how R&D works. I don't know how they develop the cards.
No telling.
I mean, it'd be awesome if they kind of showed us how everything works and on camera and showed us about the people. I know they talked about it and they talked about different people on the teams and stuff. but like seeing people actually design some cards, like plan the video out. So like Dragonstorm comes out. When Dragonstorms comes out, they can show people working on Dragonstorm cards and stuff, and talk about the process. But they don't want to show how the cake is made, so people can't replicate the batter.
Right. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand, both sides of that. I mean, it's a two-way street, and sometimes you can't go up that street.
Right. Time capsule. Good morning. Thank you for taking time out of your stressful job of controlling and making sure the multiverse is intact, just to hang out with us for a bit.
But I'm just devastated I ain't no commander decks. Because one commander deck that I did want for a Marvel Spider-Man was Venom. I'm a huge Venom fan, especially.
I'm not a big huge Venom fan myself.
But you have to build your own commander deck when the cards come out.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Venom fan myself. I'm more of a Carnage fan from the comics and the TV show. But you can't have Carnage without Venom, really, the way the story goes.
Correct.
Plus, also, you're waiting like a good year after Black Suit and Venom. So 2 years almost till you even get Carnage. After they released Black Suit, and then also another year after they released Venom and storyline. You have a long way to wait, and when it comes down to issues to read.
Time capsule says, as a locksmith, I also hold the keys of time. Right. Can't say much. Have a good time. All right. Have a great day, time capsule.
See you, time capsule.
Oh, Captain Waffles.
Mon Capitan.
What's up?
What's up? So, one thing I wanted to talk about this week, and I couldn't really talk about it without Captain Waffles because he watched more of it than I did, because I had a hard time focusing on it, was the Pro Tour. I watched more of it, more of the Pro Tour this time around than I did last time. And man, the reason why it confused me is they kept jumping between standard and limited tournaments in the thing, so it kept confusing me. But like watching the gameplay and some of the interactions was pretty cool. When I understood they were playing limited and watching some of the cards people pulled in their packs, I'm like, holy cow! Someone got like God pulls in their limited pack.
So some people were calling it the Snore Tour instead of the Pro Tour,
right?
Because Aether Drift Limited is so boring, because it's very one-dimensional. But I mean, I was okay with it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest Pro Tour ever. But for people who don't know, the Pro Tour is laid out as a double format. So usually there's draft mixed in with a constructed format, either standard, pioneer, or modern. And so what they do is day one, they do 3 rounds of draft, because you do a pod of 8. And so somebody is going to win the pod 3-0, and somebody's going to go 0-3, and then you're going to have a couple 2-1s and a couple 1-2s. And then after they do that 3 rounds of draft, then they go into the constructed portion for 5 rounds. Then if you finish with a record of 4-4 or better, you make it into day 2. And with day 2, it's the same prowess. You start off with 3 rounds of draft and then 5 rounds of constructed. And then from there, if you can make it to 12 wins before you, like Matt Nass only had 1 loss when he made it to 12 wins, you are automatically into top 8, because 12 wins will put you automatically into the top 8. And then they give you a bye every round, because it is so hard to get 12 wins that if you do it early enough, you just run 12-0, you're going to have the best tiebreakers. So they just automatically put you in.
Nice.
So that's why when you get to like round 16, you've got people that are like 11-3, I think, or 11-4, something like that. And they're like fighting for those last couple spots based on tiebreakers and everything. So, and then 12 wins is also like the magic number to qualify you for the rest of the year for every Pro Tour and the World Championship.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, and it's really hard to hit 12 wins. So that's why they do it that way. And then you do the top 8 is just the whatever the constructed format is, but it's best of 5 instead of best of 3. And then the first 2 games you play are pre-sideboard. So game 1 and game 2, you can't sideboard at all. And then game 3, you can finally sideboard.
Interesting rules. I did not know that.
Yeah. And then one of the reasons why it's so advantageous to hit those 12 wins first is if you go into the top 8, whatever your seed number is. So let's say your seed number 1, you're always going to have the choice to play or draw. There's no random determining factor for it. You get the choice. So the higher seed always gets to choose whether they want to play or draw on the first game.
That's interesting. But that's something to choose before you draw your hand, right?
Yeah. You obviously have to choose it before, but 99.9% of the time, you're always going to want to be on the play.
Right.
The only time I see people being on the draw is in limited formats when the format is a slow format, meaning it's a grindy control building limited format, and that's rare, but it happens.
Right. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. It looked, like I actually didn't have an issue with the format, even though the limited games are slower, like in pace. But like to see some of the decks that people built out of the deck, like I really didn't see vehicles doing a lot in the limited format, which is funny.
Well, I can't confirm this, but I've heard rumors, even from professional players, that the packs are juiced up, meaning because if you notice, those packs are not opened from actual booster packs, because what they have to do is they have to take them out. Sorry, I gotta take that. You have to take them out, and you have to stamp every single one of them.
Right.
And I feel, and some of the other players feel too, that have played in the Pro Tour, and by watching, there has been people that come out and say the print run sheet looks a little off, because there are people out there, I think like POA and a couple other YouTubers have learned like the pack opening, like the print run sheets. And so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they just take loose boxes and grab packs, but I think they actually juice it up for the Pro Tour for, let's say, like the premier draft table, like the one they're showing on camera. They're wanting people to get good decks to try to get people to think, oh, this limited format is really fun. You can open some really good cards.
Right.
And so I can't confirm it, but I've had suspicions, and I've talked to other players and stuff that have been on the Pro Tour, and they feel like the same thing. So
No,
Yeah.
it would make sense, because like the card pool is already known before the card pool was already known before they draft. Because like when they're talking about the set and the killer cards to look out for, they tell you about it, and you most likely see those cards in the packs when there obviously should be chances. There's no chance you should see some of the cards in the packs, varying on the variety. Of
Well, yeah, and then one of the things also to kind of look out for is you'll see the cards that are quote unquote terrible for draft, like Repurposing Bay isn't really that great for the limited format,
Right.
and a couple other cards. I hardly ever saw those being pulled at the top tables.
Wow.
I'm wigging out right now. You're telling me that hold on. You're telling me that that Magic the Gathering is rigging the Pro Tour games. That's what I heard.
Yes.
So hold on. Okay. Wow. I do believe that you probably have a lot of players that if that is indeed true, you're going to have a lot of players like completely just going, you know what? We lost faith in this company. We lost faith in this game if they're going to be rigging games. especially rigging packs, that when you're cracking them for drafts, that if you were pulling these same cards regularly, you wouldn't get.
Well,
So let me
they would do
let me
it.
ask you this. So if you've watched the Pro Tour and you watched day 2 and you saw the deck that Matt Nass put together, that deck was utterly insane for a draft deck. He had 2 Dragonautic Engineers, 3 or 4 of the cycling Magmankin with a Monument to Endurance and a bunch of other cards to fuel that deck with the rares and stuff. Like, I'm sorry, but I haven't even come across something like that on Arena. Like,
All right.
I've played probably 25 Aether Drift drafts, and I have never seen decks as savage as the Pro Tour decks.
All right. So what you're telling me is that, like, you went to a Las Vegas poker tournament. The casino had placed down 5 aces on the table, and everybody except for me got aces in my hand when dealt out. That's what you're telling me.
So here's the thing. The way they can do this is because they have 8-man pods. Okay. So you have people broken up into groups of 8. And at the top table, where you have the top 8 players in the standings, you have juiced up packs for that table because that's the table that's going to be on camera. That's the table that's going to be watched as they're drafting. You don't have to do it at every table. You do it at the table where you have the top players, and it's finessed just enough to not look completely rigged. And I know it sounds crazy, but if you go back and watch Aether Drift, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Murders of Carlisle Manor, go watch every single one of these Pro Tours like I have, and watch these top tables draft. You're never going to see bad rares or mythics in those pools.
Oh, yeah. Well, it makes sense on the camera table because if they can make a set look powerful and fun to sell more product during a pro tournament, they're going to probably do that.
Yep.
You know, because Aether Drift looks like, when I look at Aether Drift set, you know, other than a few spicy cards, it doesn't look like an appealing set. So they're going to want to sell as much of that as they can by making it look good.
Right.
Now,
Not to mention a majority of the good cards that are being played in standard and everything else, a lot of it's uncommons.
Right. Kevin G says, yeah, but that is cheating.
It is cheating, but they don't care.
Well, here's the thing is, okay, so how many, like, is this like, I don't want to like say conspiracy theory, but I'm just going to use the word temporarily. Is there other people who are supporting this like theory, like right now? I mean, like, has it like, oh my God, we just saw this and there's no way that these cards would come out in this deck because it was already, it would probably already have been mentioned that those cards are only for boosters or this, you know.
So there is no like commander cards that randomly popped up or anything like that, or any cards that shouldn't be quote unquote in a pack when you open it. What it is let's say you were to take a box of Aether Drift, open it up, distribute it around for draft, and then you do that, let's say 10 times. I guarantee you will not have anywhere close to what you see at the pro tables in those 10 draft packs or 10 draft boxes.
Well, let me put it this way, right? Like, trying to speak to someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, right? Not you, KJ, doesn't know about it, right? Draft is a very fun format that lacks a lot of consistency.
Yes.
Truth is, if you're the only good player at a table of 8 people who's drafting, your consistency is going to be better because you're picking the better cards for consistency while everybody's drafting chaff. But now you got a table full of pro players who not build consistency. That consistency would be harder to obtain because everybody's pulling those cards.
Mm-hmm.
And every deck in the Pro Tour had consistency. That's the issue.
Yep.
Right.
So that's
there has been multiple videos put out about cheating at the high levels, not just from Wizard side of things where they're juicing the packs, but also professional players getting caught on camera cheating. I mean, you have to realize, regardless if you have people watching or whatever sport, like even in poker, there's been people caught cheating. In chess, there's been people caught cheating. When you have thousands, if not millions of dollars on the line, somebody is going to try to find an edge, whether it be cheating or not, to try to win the prize.
Right. KBG says, is it possible they juice the packs of all the packs at the Pro Tour? That's the possibility we're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, see, now here's my question also, because it's this is draft style. So if all the packs are juiced, right, by the company, that would it still be an even juicing for the players, or is there one player who's going to be left boned, or one player whose pack's being juiced? That's another thing that I'm trying to look at, is like, okay, because when I saw you do the draft game when you were teaching me draft earlier last year, when I first started hanging out with the community, you were teaching me how to do the draft and whatnot. It seemed like okay, you pulled your cards that you wanted from that pack and passed it along to the right to the next person to pull what they want until like everybody has their cards. So kind of like, even then, wouldn't it still be an even playthrough? Sure, it's going to be telling people a lie about what's in the packs, but wouldn't the gameplay still be even for the sportsman, so to speak?
Well, all right. Let me before Captain Waffle responds, let me kind of break it down this way. There's 5 colors of Magic and 8 people at a table. That's not enough colors for everybody to have. The different colors, right? So you know that people are going to be stepping on each other's toes when it comes to colors, especially in multicolored decks. When you run like blue, red, blue, green, blue, black, whatever, you got like 5 different types of each color combinations, or 10 types of different color combinations. Everybody's stepping on each other's toes for different colors. The issue with the consistency I was talking about earlier is when people are stepping on each other's toes in colors and colors for decks, that the best cards should be taken out first. But everybody's getting the best cards now to build a consistent deck, that there's hardly any lack in consistency of gameplay, meaning your tempo's great, meaning your aggro's great, your bread acronym's being filled. And I say this because limited, it changes, but it's a solved format. People know how to build the decks and what works in the deck for a limited format of a 40-card deck. So people getting the consistency that we're talking about, that should be damn near impossible in a game full of pro players who know how to build the decks.
Right.
You know, it's first pack. It's first pack open, rip the best card, pass it off, and hope someone makes a bad decision. But no one makes bad decisions in Pro Tour because everything is online for money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you said, the archetypes are solved. Like you had green blue exhaust, which was the strongest archetype in the format, and then you had blue red discard with some pirates. You had the red black speed aggro deck. Like you had different decks, right? And they talked about how each one had its strengths and which one was the best one, all this. But then you see people getting all the different archetypes, and or even some people were doubled up in the same archetype and still had a fairly consistent deck. So it's not hard for them to quote unquote open a couple boxes and say, well, we need to make sure that there's a rare or 2 and then 3 uncommons and then multiple commons to fill out what a pack would look like, stamp them, and throw them in these little makeshift packs that we have to show them that here's pack A, here's pack B, here's pack C. And yes, there is the skill element of the player opening the pack going, oh, this is the best card in the pack. I'm going to build towards this format. this archetype and go from there. But you have where you're never going to know all the information because you know all the information of your first pack. Then when you get your next pack, there's a card missing. Then you get the next pack and there's 2 cards missing. So as it's finally going, through the packs, you're losing, N+1 on every pack of information. Right. So you end up knowing only maybe 50% of the card pool. So it's real easy to slip things around because any player is only going to know at most 50% of that card pool in that pot of 8.
Right. And tcgdude says he's only here to simp for you, Waffles. If they juice them all, it isn't cheating. If they juice only for the top 8, then it's cheating. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Has Wizards of the Coast ever been known to do this before?
Well,
rigging tournaments. Has Wizards of the Coast rigged tournaments before?
They haven't rigged tournaments before that we know of, but then we know there's been a lot of change ever since our pro player snagged a card from a pack that he wasn't good for his deck, but was worth like $200 at the time. It was a Termagoyf. I can't remember the player's name.
Did that pro player snag a card, or did he sneak a card, palm a card in?
No. Wizards of the Coast started paying attention to the Pro Tour once this pro player had 2 cards in his pack. One was really good for his deck. One was just worth a lot of money and real money value. Instead of taking the card that's really good for his deck, he took the real money value card just for the money value so he could sell it later. Mm-hmm. Wizards of the Coast paid attention to that. Didn't like it. They've been playing around with the whole draft thing since then because they don't want players cards just because they're worth money. They want to teach people how to build decks for a limited game. So the possibility of them rigging it, the top cards, what cards are in there and whatnot, it's possible.
Yep.
I mean, do you remember
I get the possibility. I'm just trying to ask. What I was trying to get at is Wizards of the Coast known for rigging their tournaments, and if that is, then maybe there's another reason why Hasbro needs to step in and start taking a little bit more control over Wizards of the Coast.
It's not that they're rigging the tournament. Okay, rigging the tournament would be this person's going to win regardless. What they're doing is they're fixing the card pools in a way to missell the information of how good the set is and how well the gameplay should be versus what it actually is.
And it's kind of like building a cube environment out of draft packs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what a cube is, it's a draftable set that you make yourself that's fully juiced up for the optimized pack pulls and plays. So you can pull the best cards, get the synergies you want without the draft shaft.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I have multiple trains of thoughts going on because I don't know what's going on. I'd like to see. I have to go back and watch these videos because I have not watched them yet. And I also still, being not a player who's played in real life yet and only played on Arena, where Arena will let you place the card down or not place it, and then that's it. You know, it doesn't really teach you much. Where I've, haven't had a chance to legitimately. Because of finances and everything, build a deck or even buy a pre-con because, the price of money is money. So haven't played in real life other than on Arena. So it's like you don't really learn anything on Arena. I haven't really been able to learn, these nuances where if you're going to be pulling a game and you're pulling the cards, you're passing the cards that you don't need, pulling the next set of cards, passing the ones that you don't need. And I think with the draft style game, it's completely down to skill and luck. Right. Even if they do have stuffed packs. Let's just say the packs are stuffed. If they intentionally hand one of those draft packs to one of the people who they intend to win or lose, then that would be an issue. I'm not certain as to more than that, but if they're trying to sell cards and they're going to go, we're going to use this competition to sell cards because either A, there's been negative reaction to Aether Drift over the last 2 weeks, which a lot of people have kind of like shown that they're distaste for it. And they're going to stuff these cards into a pack to make it look like, oh, you have the chance of getting this. Use the tournament. This is what you're telling me, at least. They're using the tournament with these stuffed packs to sell to you, the potential buyer who's already been poo-pooing on Aether Drift by pulling aside the actual good cards that you're probably going to be getting out of specialty packs or booster packs or collector packs instead of out of the actual you're going to go and buy a pack of 8 cards or whatever out of from your store, and you're not going to be getting those cards because those are from different like add-on packs or something. Then that is just like dishonest. They need to do the whole tournament all over again, and whoever walked away with the money or the prize needs to return their prize to the Hasbro offices and say, look, we're going to do this all over again. I do not accept this. It's down to the winner as well, who in that case.
Yep. You know what they'll say?
Just saying, everybody's at fault if they participated in a competition that allowed for a stacked deck.
Yep.
Well, it's they still have to go through the motion of drafting, juicing up the packs for everybody. Like if they like doing that, whatever, people still got to play the game, pick the cards. They're rigging the packs to be juiced up, is what he's saying. Not rigging the players to have like the best decks, and because like Matt Nass had to build his deck,
right?
He had to build his deck, and he had to get lucky and pull the cards he got for his deck. There was a chance other people could have stolen those cards and taken the chances of him winning away. I
hear what you're saying. As a third-party viewer, a person who's more into collecting the stuff than and everything, I'd look at things, and I'm looking at this story that's being told to me right now. And like, if I were to hear a story about the mob running casinos in Vegas, stacking card decks at a poker table, and that's whether it be for your advantage, somebody else's advantage, I just see that as kind of like, this is like Ocean's 11 stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just seems like that whole it's just wild. And all I can think of is why, other than trying to sell something to people who have been poo-pooing on the Aether Drift. I don't know.
Well, in your scenario, it'd be like going to play poker in Las Vegas, and everybody's competing with the best hands. So,
that's kind of what that's what I compared it to at the beginning. You're going to play Texas Hold'em poker. 4 aces come out. 4 aces come out on the table. Everybody around you has aces dealt to them as well, but you have 2, and everybody else has a chance to win. What I'm hearing you say,
And something similar to that, it's like a lot of people have said that the World Poker Tour or World Series of Poker is rigged as well. Like how you said, they see good hand after being played. Well, that's based on TV edit, because if they showed the entire tournament, it would be so long. But that one has been debunked because they actually TV edit to show you all the good hands and the good action, rather than being bored to death by all the hands where everybody folds and somebody wins the blinds and that's it.
Right.
Andrew used to watch the full-length pro poker players and stuff because he's really into poker. He's really into Magic, and then there was a couple Magic players he was interested in watching play poker because back in the day there was a large group of Magic players that went from Magic to poker, and he'd watch the whole tournaments because there's unedited versions of poker which get boring, and there's edited versions that make it look spicy. You know.
Yep.
You know.
Oh man. Well, it seems to me if that was the case, then they should have just I don't know, made a mention that this draft was based off of these more expensive packs, these more you're only going to be getting these from these boosters, make it specific, like and if that's the case, if that's a thing and there's something like a gaming commission or something, because there's a prize, needs to definitely be looked into. Absolutely.
Backwoods Collector chimes in, and hello, Backwoods Collector. This is just my opinion, but you can't argue Wizards knows that player winning is and that player is losing are better off their brand marketing wise. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. We mentioned earlier, like even if they did juice up the packs for everybody to get the most optimal pulls for everybody, to have the best consistency and tempo in games and all the stuff for their decks and archetypes, it makes the set look better for people to buy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like if that's what they're really doing, they're selling the set, they're marketing at a level that's more in depth than I would even consider.
All right. So I think of things like, as a person from, like, I'm looking from the sidelines, really. I'm looking from the side of the sidelines. And as a person who I see, okay, there's lying, cheating, whether it be on Wizards of the Coast part or on whatever. If you're going to stack a deck, if you're going to stuff a pack, if you're going to palm a card, whatever, your situation is in the form of cheating. Cheating's cheating. All right. And how do I know that if I'm one of the players and I'm saying, wait, hold on a second, I didn't think these cards were supposed to be able to come up through these packs type of thing. Right. And I don't know, I got Soul Ring or something. Let's just pull it out, and it's, everybody loves that card. And, that card shouldn't be available here. And that first stack, I was popped down right in front of me, and I grabbed that pack and opened it and got that card. Now, how do I know that I'm not being fed that card in order to win? Because they want me to win, or it was supposed to, it's supposed to go to somebody else. And I'm just saying, like, okay, when you start stacking cards, when you start rigging games, when you start adding the stuff, there's got to be somebody in mind. You want to keep the prize in the house. This is what they used to do all the time in Vegas, when the mobs used to run the casinos, and they'd keep the money in the house.
Yeah,
they figure out who they're going to win, and then they stack those decks. It tells me that it's more than just rigging the game to show you the cards that you're going to get to advertise the product. They have a winner in mind.
No.
Well, as a side party viewer, this is not a yes or no thing. This is as a side party viewer, I see cheating, and I see cheating as cheating. It doesn't yes or no, Hillbilly. It's cheating is cheating. It's no yes or no. Cheating is cheating.
Yeah, but they don't know who the winner is going to be.
Oh, they know. If they rig the game, they know. Trust me. Historically, I will not believe a no on that. Cheating is cheating. You can't argue cheating. And if you can't argue cheating, that gives me a question about your morality.
Well, the whole thing gets layered in no matter what. Like everything we're talking about, it's hearsay. It's all opinion, thoughts, conspiracy.
Exactly.
So nothing we're saying could be solidified as truth, and it can't be solidified as false because we don't know any of the facts.
Well, for 40 years, there was a suspicion that a single person had cheated at the Donkey Kong game, and then it came out truth eventually. Conspiracy often ends up in truth.
Sometimes I know what you're talking about because I watched the documentary on that.
Mm-hmm. Just saying. And that was tournament play. Just saying. If you rig a game, you rig a game. It doesn't matter the outcome.
That's funny that you mentioned the conspiracy about the guy who rigged Donkey Kong. He almost got away with it until he sent in a video of him playing a game, and they realized the game he sent in to beat the world record was a different style format of game recording.
Yeah, pretty much what it was his cabinet had a 8-directional joystick, where the Donkey Kong is supposed to have a 4-directional joystick. Now, the problem with having arcade cabinets is when you have an arcade cabinet maintenance, the maintenance person of the arcade cabinet will use the more aptly available joysticks on those arcade cabinets. And at the time when allegedly, if you remember the documentary on that, he claimed he wasn't at fault because it was a repaired unit. But repaired units in gameplay, especially with arcade gameplay, the rule is it has to be with the original equipment. And that was the issue with that. But that was fought, and still it's still up to debate to this day whether that's cheating or not.
Right.
And this is probably a situation. This is why I brought up the Donkey Kong situation, is because this type of subject can be debated for years until it turns out that it's actually true.
Right. Well, in the theory, and this is why I brought it up, because not only was it the 8-directional D-pad, the console played the joystick. Yeah, the joystick was 8-directional, but the program he used for the game was
4-directional
emulator.
Also emulation was assumed. I don't know if they've actually proved that there was emulation involved, because
they did.
They did. Oh, did they?
They could tell. Yeah, because the way the real game loads, like how it appears on screen, to the up from left to right to up down, changes between the emulator and the real. It tells you the difference between the two.
Yeah. I do know that the main concern with that whole situation, based off of what I remember from the whole debacle for the last 20, 30 years regarding that whole Donkey Kong situation, was primarily around the joystick.
Well, anyway,
now, I just wanted to add in real quick. What I said at the beginning of this was clearly and just based on opinion and theory. None of this is true of what I said about the Pro Tour.
No. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
And it's one of those things where it can't be proven, but it can't be disproven. So it kind of it's up in the air until, like you said, it's proven. But I strongly believe that is what's going on. That is my opinion, not a fact.
Right.
I just wanted to put that disclaimer in there before we go any further.
But if you believe it, other people believe it too, before you even got to even saying that. That's my thought process. Because if it's something like, say, in gaming, right? If it's obvious to one person, it's got to be obvious to multiple. Because it's like these are things that like, if you can see it, and you can see it on camera when you go back and rewatch things, other people are seeing exactly the same thing you're seeing. Just because you're the one who's not afraid to say something doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right. Does it mean it could be disproven? They can pull bulk rares at the top 8 table. That's right.
And what are the odds of let's just say, this once it went through the machines and got packaged and everything, what are the odds that they didn't put the wrong packaging in the machine, and then those got packaged on their own? Then you're going down to the company that's saying, these were packaged in the wrong packaging, it turns out, because the machine packaged them that way, not us.
Well, what I was about to reference with the Donkey Kong story is, if they are juicing up the packs, because they wouldn't juice up the packs for one person wins, they juice up the packs so everything looks optimized. And just like the emulator, the emulator, it runs faster than the original game. That's one of the issues that they were talking about, is they're emulating Magic in a different way, where it makes the set look better, but it makes the game more optimized so people get a better understanding how things are supposed to work, like the viewer. but it's still rigging the game, so nothing's fair to the average player watching to the pro players, you know. So like, because like there's like I drafted many times. There's hardly ever any times you pull multiple of one rare. Hardly.
Yeah.
On top of Kevy's thing of saying they could disprove it by putting bulk rares. Bulk rares are still playable in limited. That's not the issue here. The issue here is having the same bulk rare that can be very powerful in limited show up multiple times. Now, they could try to quote unquote disproving it by juicing the packs in a way to where it's crappy. Then we go into the whole thing of look at this NFL season that we just had, where we all know the NFL is rigged. Don't try to deny it. But people were saying that the Chiefs got put into the Super Bowl by the refs. And then when the Super Bowl happened, because everybody was crying about the refs and how the Chiefs are going to win, and there was one play that happened in the beginning of the game of the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden the refs disappeared for the Chiefs. Now the commissioner can come out and say, see, it wasn't the refs. You guys are tripping. You guys are conspiracy theorists about the refs. It's not the refs. And then they made them lose on purpose so that they could sit there and debunk everything and then turn around and do it again and be like, well, no, we showed you this one time that it wasn't the refs. And so they're going to try to do that where they're like, well, we showed you. And that right there, well, why are you showing me that it doesn't have to be that way? Because you're obviously rigging it that way too. So it's anything high level, sports, gaming, anything is going to be like that.
Yeah, well, that's my thought process too. And now that you brought up football regarding it, you know, another game that has been historically interfered with by the mob, government. You know, I mean, there was a conspiracy theory regarding baseball that a certain baseball team won the World Series because a president at the time, back in the 80s, liked that team. Now, I don't want to say that's a thing, but rigging is historic with especially when it comes down to getting bigger. And I just think that cheating's cheating. If one person sees it, other people see it. And the fact that you call out this is my conspiracy theory, you know, that's what you said. And I agree with you. It's a conspiracy theory, but if you saw it, somebody else saw it. And I really think that there needs to be an investigation if that's the case. I mean, to be honest,
get enough heads, they would investigate it.
Yeah, we'll get enough heads in a jar, you know. Throw your signature on my jar, send me to WotC, and we're going to investigate.
You go to WotC full of sticky notes on your jar.
You know, all I'm saying is, I'm saying fans should be concerned if one person sees it, more than one person saw it, especially if it's broadcast. And I think that as a person who thinks that there's more to a conspiracy theory than a conspiracy theory, because there's usually a nugget of truth.
Right.
And we need to find out what that nugget of truth is.
Nugget of truth. And you know what they need to bring back? Captain Waffles might agree. I don't know if Hillbilly knows about him. His World Championship decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could play Magic on a fair game and all is well? I'm kidding. Let's see. Backwoods says, when I was in local stock car racing, I was in a small pull-aside driver meeting by officials that would tell us, we don't care what happens out there, but so and so doesn't win. Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain. That's right. So make so and so happen if you can. Get them to push the win. Whatever you can do possible. I get it. 'Cause everybody wants to win. You know, I can understand the theory, the conspiracy theory. I can definitely see something like that happening. Like I'm not gonna deny it. I can't really support the theory as if like I know for fact, but from the way it looks, I can definitely agree that it seems like that happens. But anyways, I digress. I'm in the mood for some chocolate cake, and I'm all out of chocolate cake.
That does sound good.
But anyways, start rolling over, going to
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Whoa. Hey, everybody. It's time to start cinching up the show, get into the shill section. I know it's like 10 minutes shorter than normal, but I am tired because I had to wake up early. But anyways, but still, let's get into the shill section. Are you ready for shilling Captain Waffles, or you need a couple minutes? Right, we'll give him a couple minutes. We'll start shilling with kjcowboydan.
Hey, boys and girls. kjcowboydan here. I'm currently waiting for my food box, but that's all right. While I'm waiting, you can wait till tomorrow night when Jesse Hellwheeler, myself, and a few other friends are going to be joining us for Procrasticraft on our Minecraft server. Oh, we have some incredible builds that we've been working on. I hope you guys do come and watch. And heck, we got room on our server if you want to stream with us and play with us. So let me know on Discord if you want to play on our SMP Minecraft world, Procrasticraft. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Hellwheeler and myself will be returning on Wednesday night for some incredible procrastinating across the oceans. We've already scheduled the show with a guest and everything. It's going to be a good night, assuming that our guest shows up. We have a great topic. I really want to spoil it for you, but I'm not going to.
Really quick, Cane Shaker said, this whole stream is rigged and full of nothing but conspiracies. That's right. All right. It's rigged.
Who put this really expensive card underneath my jar?
All right, Captain Waffles, the parent. Well, if Captain Waffles is here, I'm going to show for him. Check out Captain Waffles. He does a couple good. He doesn't have a show, but he uploads videos, does some lives. Really good at limited. Does some good pro talk and stuff like that. So check him out at Captain Waffles on YouTube. And with that, we're going to roll over to Hillbilly.
Well, 20 away. I'm at 980 subs. That's 20 subs away from being fully monetized.
Ooh.
So I look to be probably monetized maybe by the end of the month. It'll be awesome. And I do plan on putting a giveaway together. Never thought I'd come get this close, this quick. But it's awesome. I want to give a huge shout out to all my subscribers that share the channel here with the channel here with me, but shares the channel here because we share viewers. That's awesome. And but anyway, as far as shilling, this afternoon I'm going to try to come up with a deck. Try to climb that ladder this afternoon around 2:00. And that's all I have planned for today.
Hey. For today. Today is Sunday. So today is one of my days off. Tuesday. All right. Because like tomorrow we're getting a frost. I won't be able to do the stuff I normally would do tomorrow. And plus tomorrow is game day here. So Tuesday, for those who are in the know, I'm going to start reaching out to you guys for addresses because Tuesday is the day I'm going to start getting labels made on the boxes so we can get them shipped out for the mugs and stuff. There was a conspiracy about Hillbilly shaving his eyebrows too. That's right. But we love you. We are at 848 subscribers. Holy
Nice.
cow. That's a lot. Hope you guys stick around, have fun, like this video, like the stream, share the stream. Maybe we're starting a new topic that people will start talking about. Who knows? I never talked about a conspiracy that big before about Magic the Gathering. All I know is Magic the Gathering is not printing enough sets in a year.
Correct.
I mean, was it? They could be printing 2 sets a month. What are you doing, Wizards? You behind? You behind? I mean, come on. You could have Dragons of Tarkir out and Final Fantasy out 1 month. Then the next month,
No,
more.
no, leave it like it is. Come on.
Yeah. What are you trying to do? Kill us?
No, I'm
making
making satire. I'm making satire that Wizards prints too much product already.
No, they listen to this. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, everybody,
Strike.
Wizards is too stupid to see satire. They think it is real.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I want to thank you all for being here, everybody on the show. Thank you for chilling out, being awesome, being amazing. I want to remind you all in chat that your love, someone's thinking about you. And if you can, make someone's day a little bit brighter, because you can be the change someone needs today. And with that, I really need to go to bed. So have a wonderful day.
I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
The moves, the strategies, and the flair. Super fast tortoise is running the show. The crowd goes wild wherever he goes. Shall shock, go. The tortoise way. He's the one to watch, the king of MTG play.